Hi, I'm Charcy. Some of you may know me as Sister Diva out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. This is the IM4GOD Movement podcast, where we allow everyday people to tell their testimony. For those that's maybe just tuned in, welcome. For those that's been following us, thank you. You may be asking, what is this all about? It's basically just letting you know the same thing God did in the Bible, He's doing today. So that's where we made a platform for people to tell their testimony. So you may find somebody you can relate to. Today I have a guest. His name is Trav. I'm going to give him a chance to introduce himself and tell you a little bit about himself so you can feel like you know him a little better. Trav, can you just tell people about it?
Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Anytime.
My name is Travis Jackson. I'm born and raised here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I was formerly incarcerated for 20 years. Just recently released as of last year. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur here in the city. Also an advocate, a social advocate, social activist. Really geared towards just making a difference in my community, sharing my story, using my story as a platform to be able to, explain to people that there's an opportunity for change after having been through something like I've been through, such as incarceration. My brand in particular, as you see on my chest, N2L, it's never too late. Myself and Mike Skrilla Hill, another individual who was formerly incarcerated as well, we linked and partnered together. We piggybacked off of his book that he wrote while he was incarcerated. Came out here and just started a movement behind it, and then it just parlayed into an apparel line, and we just been using that to just advocate that it's opportunity for change. It's light at the end of the tunnel. There's opportunities when you come out of these institutions if you just go after them, if you change the mindset that you have, if you do what you need to do to get yourself in the lane to be a better person. Right. And so that's what my whole movement and what I stand for as an individual is.
And I'm going to get y'all both on the show one day.
Definitely.
Just so people can understand the difference on both of them, because both of them are good friends and they have their own testimonies. I had him before on the show, if y'all go back and look at it. But I'm very proud of both of you. Congratulations. I'm excited to see where God is going to take both of you, because a lot of people need to, men and women and grown men need to hear what you got to say to let them know that it isn't never too late.
It's never too late.
My first question to you, what kept you grounded you said 20 years?
20 years, definitely.
What kept you grounded doing 20 years?
Well, it was just knowing that, for one, I ain't have a life. As practical as it sounds, that's really just what it is. When you know you got a date. And then in my situation, when I first got incarcerated, I was 19, getting ready to turn 20. So when you looked at it in the long range perspective, it was like, okay, you do 20 years, you'll be 40 when you get out. I seen a lot of guys prior to me going in that were 40 that was doing well. So in my mind, I was able to reconcile my situation and the reality of it with those pleasant thoughts, like, damn, I remember such and such that was 40 or such and such that was 39 or 41. He still was in good shape, living a good, decent life. He had income. So I was like, okay, I still got a chance. It's kind of like, in a way, the never too late thought process started then. Because in my mind, I was like, yo, when you get out, it ain't going to be too late. You feel what I'm saying? So that was one of the things that kept me grounded. Of course, my faith. In a higher power, that was one of the things that kept me grounded. There was a lot of nights, where I was inside a prison, I was inside a jail, what they call segregation. There was a lot of nights where I spent months upon months, due to my own behavior inside of these types of isolated environments. And it was only through the grace of God and Him, speaking to me and helping to keep my spirit still and helping me to stay focused on what I had in front of me, which was a release date. That was the way that I was able to stay grounded.
Okay. Like I said, I got to tell you again, it take a lot to keep your peace of mind.
Definitely.
Because there's so many that get out and can't even cope.
They can't function, exactly.
And for you to just got out and you still have your mindset, that's mind blowing. And then the fact, like you said, with God and your faith, that's big,
Definitely.
So I want to tell you again, hats off to you, on that. Because like I said, it's mind over matter, and definitely, you definitely did that. I have to ask a question, you know, as far as what was that first time that, you know, you realized God was real?
Man, I mean, like a first time, I think a first time had to be when I probably like closely encountered death.
Okay.
I kind of felt like there was some kind of divine intervention that prevented, you know, that tragic outcome. In particular, I got shot, and just not to go deep into the story for the sake of brevity. When I was escaping from the individual that was shooting at me, I fell down in the woods. Now, people might not believe it, but it was like, it wasn't even dusk dark then. It was like daytime. But it was nearing that hour, you know, for it to get dark. So when I fell in the woods, the guy was in pursuit of me. Like he was able to see me because it was daytime. But when I fell down in the woods, it was like in a moment, it went from daylight to straight black outside.
That's how God works.
I was like, oh my God, you know, and in that moment, you know, you recognize it and you like, what just happened? And that prevented him from actually being able to locate me. For him to, I don't know what his intention was. I mean, he already had shot me once, so I mean, it could have been to take me on out, you know what I'm saying? So that experience and another in particular is just me having the opportunity to get my freedom back. You know, because there was a lot of guys I met in prison, man, that had cases basically like, just like mine. And they had life sentences.
God had work for you to do.
You feel me? Yeah, that's why I know I'm out here for a purpose. That's why I know what we doing, never too late, is stand for something.
So let me ask you, did you make God a promise?
Well, yeah, you know, in my heart, you know, after having been favored in so many ways, it's like, you can't do nothing but say, hey, you know, I see you. I see what you're doing. And I ain't just a taker. I never been just a taker. I'm a giver too. So for me, it's about reciprocating because obviously, you know, you favoring me. I tell people that all the time. God love me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and with the situations that I've been in, coming from my past, you know, a lot of people don't even know, like, you know, my past, I'm like, what you may call an adopted child. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother abandoned me when I was a child. A lot of people don't know that about me. You know, she left me as a 6-month-old child. And fortunately for me, that's how I know God favored me because I could have been over with right then, a child, a product of the system, you know, put in the foster care system and things of that nature. But God saw fit for me to be favored enough for my family to put their hand in and the village raised the child. You know, it's just my own choices that led me to, you know, fall into the lifestyle that I was a part of and which, you know, subsequently led me to go into prison for 20 years.
And we got to go through a test to have a testimony.
Sometimes you got to go through
it. I mean, that's the way you get a testimony, through your test. It's just how you come out of it, how you deal with it.
That's exactly
so you
what
definitely, I have to ask you that question as far as what was that one moment that, you know, you might have been upset with something that happened in your life that God, you know, you felt like he should have intervened or something?
You know what? Honestly, I can't recall ever a time where I just wasn't all right with. That's the way I am. I'm a realist.
No, I want honestly.
Like people say that about me, like you just too cut and dry sometimes. Like it's a gray area sometimes. Like yeah, sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. You know, like death. You know, I spent my whole 20 years preparing for my parents possibly leaving. They were older people. You know, and you know. Some of them, they were struggling with health issues. So that was a thought process that I had to really deal with. Like most people don't sit around and prepare mentally to lose a loved one. You know, that's not something people really take time out to do. It's just like when it happened, it happened. And that's why they grieve. Their grieving process is so difficult because there hasn't been any preparation for this reality that we all know is inevitable. It's like people walk through like blindly, like, yo, the people you love are gonna die.
I tell people that all the time. I said, just if you put in your mindset, everybody's gonna die.
They're gonna die.
Everybody. Ain't nobody gonna stay. So it's just a time that you have to really just put that there and just know so you can be able to release them.
And so I can't say that I've ever been unhappy with certain outcomes, you know, because I know that I'm a believer that God is a facilitator.
Exactly.
He give you a platform to have whatever you want, do whatever you want. Abundance is your birthright. Prosperity is your birthright. It's written for you.
Right.
If you choose to pursue it,
It's
whether
okay.
there's some forks that you're going to have to make some decisions or whatever, there's going to be some obstacles or whatever, you have to make a choice, you know. But at the end of the day, he's not a genie.
Right.
You see, people get themselves in situations. Luckily, he got mercy and grace, and he'll facilitate intervention.
Right.
These are these instances like I just explained to you.
Right.
Because I wasn't worthy of no grace at that time. I'm a drug dealer. I'm shooting at people. I'm doing all kinds of illegal acts. So I wasn't the top candidate for no grace and mercy.
Right.
But there again, favor. You know. So at the end of the day, that's what makes me know that I have to do what I'm doing on every platform that I have established or that I'm currently creating to do that job.
So I have to ask a question. What's more important to you, impacting or impressing people?
Impact,
and why?
most definitely. Impact, most definitely, because I'm a firm believer, like, certain things, if you do them, everything else comes.
Right.
So there's no need to have that your primary motivation. You feel me? If you keep it a band, if everything's genuine, then all the other stuff, the money, the notoriety, things that you don't even want gonna come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be a byproduct of you just being genuine and sincere with your cause. And that's one thing I love about Mike. You know what I'm saying? It's been multiple occasions where he's demonstrated where the cause of what we doing was way greater than any type of monetary.
Exactly.
I'm talking about anything. Like, for him, it's about this movement, what it means, what it was birthed from, you know what I'm saying? Because both of us got two different stories.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But they all encompass what Never Too Late represents. So that's just to say that, and that's kudos to my bro. Like, he's hand down sincerely attached to and about what we doing right here from a perspective of straight productivity and positivity and everything else outside of that it could bring.
So is it okay to ask you, can we look forward to you maybe doing a documentary one day? Because I know Mike is doing one.
Definitely.
So are you willing?
That's coming soon.
Okay. I want to just throw that out there because you definitely should put that out there.
Look for that.
And let me ask you this. If it was one thing you can change in your life, what would it be and why?
Change. Wow.
If you can go back and change one thing in your life, what would it be and why?
Yeah, man, that's hard. Because, I mean, like, honestly, I'm so at peace with what I've what I've become, the struggles. I'm talking about, I love it all. Like, everything about what life has given me. From my injuries to my heartaches, my losses. Excuse me, the years that I lost incarcerated. Because I have to say that was a loss because I lost time. There's no getting around that. You can't get time back. It's impossible. But I gained in that whole situation as well. So it was like, if I could change something, I would say something that might seem so mundane. But I probably would change some things I did with some money sometimes that I've had a whole lot of some money.
That'll be all of us. That'll be all of us.
Because everything else is just like, I feel like everything else is played into the whole grand scheme of me becoming who I am. So I can't really say I'm not pleased with those things, even though some of them was misfortunes, some of them was tragedies. But, like, if I had to say something, like, really from a practical sense, it'd probably be handling some money a little bit better. Remember to handle your money the right way, because you're going to have to live with those regrets.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's funny because I ask people that, and like I said, it's your story, it's your testimony. But when somebody asks me that, I tell them I wouldn't change nothing. I want to be who I am today.
I just want to be who I am.
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
But on top of that, I would have to ask you too, when you first seen IM4GOD, what did it mean to you?
IM4GOD kind of like came full circle with what, like I said, you asked me about a promise.
Right.
That's kind of how it hit me. IM4GOD.
Yeah.
I done been favored so much that what I'm out here doing is for God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like representative. I don't have to even speak it because what I'm coming out here and I'm giving up is everybody, only thing they could associate it with is righteousness and godliness, and it's coming from a good place. It's positive energy. Like, that's one thing about when me and Mike go places, the reception is bananas. We get so much support, so much love, because everybody know we authentic.
Right.
Everybody know we ain't out here capping.
Yeah.
We ain't trying to, embellish on the truth. We, dealing in the hyperbole and all of that. We just who we are. Everybody know who Mike is. Everybody know who Trav for the Bunch is.
Y'all stay in y'all lanes.
We just stay in our lanes.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
about.
We aspiring entrepreneurs on the come up, trying to take our past and turn it into a positive. In the story.
I see it.
You
I
know?
see it. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
And if that one moment that if you could, well, first of all, I go to that, is a testimony you would like to share with the people that make them, understand, as far as what you may have been through, encouraging. Is it a testimony you would like to share with people?
Definitely. It's kind of a multi-part testimony because I wanted to be specific to a few different groups. You know, first and foremost to the youth. You could still be cool, fly, all of these other words that you on fleek, lit, and all of that, and not risk your freedom. Because what's happened is there's been a great devaluing of freedom. I think when you put it in context like this, I'd rather struggle for my freedom than hustle and make money and pay to go to jail. See? You paying to go to jail.
Yeah.
See, you getting money, but you're gonna lose your freedom. That's the price. So I say I'd rather pay the price of struggling for freedom. See, the price of freedom is struggling until you get where you gotta go. The price of whatever you wanna have and immediately, you know what I'm saying, without wanting to work and wait for it, you could get it. Trust it, they gonna let you run it up. You're gonna have some stories to tell, but trust me, I spent 20 years listening to them and told some myself. You see what I'm saying? So that's my testimony. Be willing to exchange struggling for your freedom as opposed to wanting to pay the price for the little luxuries and things of this type of nature. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would like to say to the youth. It's a simple concept. It's like 1 + 1 is 2, bro. Either you're gonna struggle and stay free, or you're gonna hustle and go to jail.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. And then to the persons that's like in my age group, or should I say young adults, up until about my age bracket, kind of similar, same thing. Because I know it's a lot going on out here that make us want to chase after certain trends and things of that nature. Some of us are still in that lane. We want to keep up with the Joneses. For them, my testimony is learn about your money. Learn about your money, learn about your finances, learn how to budget. You know what I'm saying? Learn about insurance, learn about investing, things of this nature. Learn about how to take your money and make your money work for you, because your time is coming where you're not gonna be able to work no more. You see what I'm saying? And I'm a firm advocate of not relying on things such as social service, social security and things of that nature. You have to establish your own wealth and you have to be proactively involved in that. That's just that simple. So I would tell them to get on their A game when it comes to financial literacy, because it's time for you to do that. You have so many responsibilities, so many people depending on you at this particular point in your life where you don't got time to be just out here just wasting money, throwing money away, because you aren't willing to sit down and take the time out that it takes to, become financially literate. And that's pretty much what my testimony, is about. It's just how I took time out to do those same things and how I'm in the process of implementing those same strategies with financial literacy. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm involved in Forex. I'm associated with a Forex educational platform. I'm also getting ready to get involved in some credit repair stuff and things of this nature. That's the lane where me and my guys are focused to going at, because the goal is to build generational wealth. So that's what my testimony is stand on as far as what I had to say to the people on that level. Build your wealth. Generational wealth is the way.
So I gave you one shot to give the people something positive. That would be what you would.
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Focus on building financial literacy. That's what we suffering at right now. We don't know money. We do not money. When we get money, we still don't know what to do with it. Yeah. We think money is the answer. No, financial literacy is the answer. So when we get the money, we know what to do with the money. Because having money and not knowing what to do with it is just like having no money. Because you're going to be broke soon. Like the Bible say, a fool in his money shall surely be proud.
You said it again. So where can people find the Never Too Late keep in contact with you and Mike? Can you give the people information?
Definitely.
Facebook
Okay,
pages?
we on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook at Never Too Late LLC on Facebook. Also on IG, you can find us at nevertoolate_26. You can definitely follow us on there. We're in the process of developing a website so you can get merch in an instant. We're getting ready to meet you where you want to be met at online.
And you're thinking about getting into podcasts, right?
Definitely. We definitely looking into turning some things into some media platforms with Never Too Late. Never Too Late got a bright history. We got a bright history. We got a vision for it. There's no freestyling here. You know, me and Mike done sat down and had multiple conversations, brainstorming sessions, things of that nature. We got a vision. The Bible say where there's no vision, the people are what? Perish.
Yes.
So we have a vision for where we want to go with it. Like I said, ultimately parlaying it into a multimedia platform is ultimately where we trying to go with it, where you can get your print, you can get your content online, and you can get you something dope to wear if you feeling saucy,
Yes. I want to thank you so much for coming. Like I said, I would have both of y'all back on here together so they can get a chance to, get both of y'all so we can chop it up about some other things. But too, y'all make sure y'all check out the IM4GOD.com. And remember, Mike has a documentary out.
Definitely.
Look forward to his coming out
soon.
and the podcast because they have so much information out there for y'all. So make sure y'all keep in tune and follow these guys.
Y'all
Look
out for ex-cons, the icons.
Yeah.
It's
Don't miss
ready
it
to
now.
be a major movement. Incarcerated scar faces. We're getting ready to do it all, man. It's happening.
Congratulations again.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And thank y'all again for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next time because you just never know who we're going to have here. And remember, we love you and God love you more. Thank you.